Yo guys, what is up? क्या हाल है? Welcome back to another watch party of VCT.
Series back and pick up. We didn't quite hit that high of a high in their series versus Wait, but he was heating up as that series went on. So yes. Here to see if again out the gate.
Let's go, bro. आज मजा आएगा, bro.
I'm excited for this match. One of the big things was while Governor was looking very good at kickoff, they overheated a lot as a team. And now Governor talked about the interview, Ross talked about it again, where they want to calm things down. That for sure has happened. So whatever training they've been doing, it's been working. Now it's about finding that balance. And man, against Gen.G, you really have to strike gold in that balance because this is a team where they know exactly when to push the limits and then take it back.
They've been getting so well at that limit test. Let's see how they do there. Seems like, of course, Spirit's very high.
The trouble with B site, the entry was good, right? You are able to take
force
up lane next to that baby door, things like that. But at the end of the day, it's just too many angles that you still have to cover in the post plan. And with a fast help like this,
ये रोमन भी मर जाता है 46 लाउंड सिर्फ.
Makes all the difference. But
yeah.
Well, he's taking less from Munchkin, that's for sure.
Yep.
Love to see that energy. It's hard to imagine that this guy only started playing at the top level, professionally at all in Valorant, just a mere 3 months ago.
What?
Yeah, it's
सिर्फ 3 महीना.
absolutely astounding. Already just that, have
What?
that royal road.
Really?
Second place finish. Governor jumping his way in, but it's just going to be a leg shot there on a Munchkin. Now does have a pit available. The snake bite looks like he was suspicious of somebody creeping their way in, but Jit Boys is not checking right. I don't think he realizes the Viper is there. Well, maybe an opportunity for a big backstab, but with just a classic. Yeah,
Viper के कहाँ से निकला?
Just Cruz left. Like, what can he realistically do?
So trying to double check, it looks like, for Jit Boys to see where that rotation happened, to try to make the call for Cruz to enter into C-side again. But he's checking for the fade. He has no idea the Viper's here as well. He calls for one.
But now there's a turret on the opposite side. You give them the alert. I think this would confuse the ever-loving hell out of them.
Down, C.
Try to smoke it off.
Oh, but this has just been a trip around the world for Jit Boys. But ultimately, I think that this
अरे भाई.
And they just
end
keep
in
running
despair.
away.
Yeah, I mean,
क्या
just,
कर रहा है
they don't
ये?
even realize that they're rotating away from him. They're on the hunt. They're looking for him. He's stalking him, but he just doesn't have the weaponry. Honestly, I'd turn tail back over to C and try to get this plant down.
अरे भाई.
Quite
Do they hear that
Agi
pickup
sound
from
agi.
Munchkin starting to notice it? Yep, now they certainly do know as the plant does come through. Let's see what kind of damage he can deal.
भाई.
As he eludes the turret shots, avoiding some additional damage, swings out, chest shot there, but
Let's go Texture
through,
भाई
revealing the
4K
wall bank
बोलते.
kill. So I think a bit of a head scratcher here for both teams at the end, but it is still going to be Gen.G moving up 4-0.
Let's go.
Smooth start for
4-0,
Gen.G.
4-0.
I mean, surely a lot of question marks there, but like you said, I mean, it's a flawless at the end of the day. Can't hope for better than that. Giving over the plant, it's not the biggest of deals. It's not like you were really losing too much on your own econ. And of course, it's also the Omen that gets the plant. Texture, calm, and crisp. Looking just as good as he did when he started off Madrid. Yeah, a little bit of head scratching there. And I'm not surprised about the timeout, because here's the thing, is that you're playing Lotus, you gotta at least have some really solid control of Mound into the entrance of C-site or Rubble. We're not really seeing that from TLN. Sure, you get up to Mound, you get the ult orb, but you haven't disrupted the C-site at all. We gotta see some changes there.
Yeah, a bit of a rocky start here for that attacking side. You can see Frost just trying to convey as much as he possibly can here, given the limited time. Solo as well.
अरे भाई उसका कोच देखो.
Yeah, we're seeing HSK get into the discussion as well. We haven't really seen Solo and HSK get this involved during timeouts. A couple of times at Madrid, sure, but this is also something they might have talked about. You know, it was one of the questions that was brought up in the press conference after their tough loss in the grand finals was, what are you doing to make sure that the mental game stays at the very top for the players? And Solo admitted that right now it's up to the coaches, and maybe that's something that they need to work on going further. So we'll see how much they take advantage of the opponent's timeout. This time, Talon fixing their eyes onto the A side. The Rubble port.
Looking around this smoke, but Wiley
Let's
has
go
to wait for it to
Texture,
dissipate.
let's go.
Crucial
Easy.
time bought here for Talon.
I mean, Gen.G, the creds are there, so perhaps they go for this just to put more damage onto Talon. The round surely already lost. You look at the health bars.
Made onto the ramp. Satchel, that would get a kill, actually.
Hello, man.
Almost on
Welcome
the
to the
Governor.
stream.
They're going to be able to get one apiece, but Jit Boys and Surf able to return fire. go ahead and pick up the first round victory here for Talon. So now find themselves on the board.
And Talon has to try to think back to that round and say, why did that work? Because what we saw on the mini-map was a Gen.G that has never looked that lost before on any of the maps that they play. Normally, they're pretty good at committing because they were able to isolate the information. But this time, it's a double strike onto A while there's still a showstopper flying into C site. And you saw the other teammates of Gen.G kind of caught bouncing back and forth in the middle of the map. A near defender spawn. It's not the type of moments that we've seen from Gen.G. If Talon can replicate that, it's going to be a good half for the rest.
Well, now it looks like they want to fight over Mount a little bit more. Nades out. Texture,
nice one, Texture.
Boys,
oh, let's go.
Around and get Gen.G the round win and take them up the map point.
The pit is huge. I mean, overall, Talon, again, great read. They actually tightened the map up so much, but they make the assumption that it's going to be a rubble play. And at that point, the lockdown comes in, lets them know that they have to retake B. And Meteor holding close, limits the numbers just enough for his teammates to close out the round.
One of those moments where Governor, if you had been able to get, I think, just one kill there, that showstopper would have been online a little bit sooner. Now, Talon need 4 in a row.
Ooh,
I mean, he's trying to get the catch on a Meteor, but Meteor, privy to it, is able to take him down.
All right, Talon, you've already set up for a retake on A. You got to stick to it. So I love the double stack on B. Thin the numbers, make sure that you're safe on the flank. Now they can focus all their sights onto A. The question is, Governor, you have the showstopper. Do you regroup with your teammates? Okay, he will do so. Wants to fly in from heaven or baby door.
Spike now planted. Showstopper at the ready, but Governor's still working his way over towards the site itself. His Texture is in such a cheeky position. That's the showstopper completely nullified before it can be drawn out. Paint Shell's just lobbed up top a rope here to try and keep his own back. Surf down here on the floor. Finds one before getting traded out. Jitboy's able to find Texture. 2v2 with Karen down about half HP.
They heard one on inside, but Munchkin, he goes far and wide.
Karen not ready for that swing out of the smoke. Cruz able to find him now. It is all in the IGL. Munchkin, he can't deliver, but the IGL of Talon absolutely does. Another 3K here for Cruz.
That's the Nightfall. Comes back online for Talon. Another tool for them to try to hang on to this map.
Well, 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 what a map we have on our hands.
Bro, next is
a showstopper that couldn't come into play. The lockdown as well.
But कम्बार पता है इन सब टूर्नामेंट्स में होता है कि जब पिक करा होता है ना
More to go.
भाई
like Gen.G into overtime, and right now, I mean,
Gen.G ने पिक किया है तो Gen.G जीतेगी वो बहुत कम होता है.
Possible. Gen.G still with another timeout up their sleeve. Looks like Solo wanting to hold that until the very last
आधा
moments.
घंटा नहीं होता मैच को. It was already 9-3.
These are the rounds
now
that you
it's
gotta watch out for
12-9,
Gen.G. Of course, on their way all the way to Madrid, even at Madrid. These thrifties, these half buys, where it's really just the crispy aim, the trading that carries them through. Talon, they cannot get too relaxed at any point in this round.
Just Surf here on his lonesome, but in a safe enough disconnected position where he could just backpedal, try to set up for that lockdown, but not if he's dead, so okay, we'll backpedal away. As Nightfall comes in, Texture not able to get ahead of that one in time. Lockdown now in play. I think if he banked the paint shells up top, he actually would be able to clear this one out, but it looks like they're just going to respect this one. They get the plant down as Showstopper around the corner, Governor able to find one. Karen, though, in the end, as
nice.
Showstopper lobbed in. Texture finds Jitboys.
3v2.
Ban and Surf now the last two standing here for Talon to try to keep them in this map. But Texture has another nade available to clear them off this spike. Ult coming in.
Nice.
Has it, sends it. Ban able to find the kill. So that's going to be the C's coming in. He pulls off the defuse. It's a kill onto Karen, but there's the swing.
Let's go.
The audio to play off of Lakia. Sets himself up for a relatively easy headshot with the Guardian. Gen.G, they will take their map pick of Lotus, but I think with a lot more struggles than a lot of us might have anticipated.
Yeah, and I think the surprising thing for me was I would have imagined Talon might take a couple rounds here and there off of aim, but their reads were so good. They clearly came in prep for Gen.G, and that gets me excited for their map pick, which will be coming up in the second round.
Oh yeah, I mean, Ascent on the horizon, you know, people scratching their heads when we saw the map draft come through there on the analyst desk, but if Talon are going to have solid game plans, if they have a solid idea of how Gen.G wants to play the map, much like they did clearly here on Lotus, then that could be an absolute banger. But first, we'll go ahead and let the analyst desk break down all the action from that opening map.
Thank you very much, casters. Gen.G is well on their way to earning the first championship point for the Alpha group. It was a 13-9 on Lotus, their map pick. But Talon was no pushover on this map.
Yeah, I'm very happy to see it. It looked like it might be pretty rough after that first half, but both teams have a really good idea on their defender side, sort of how to counter each other, how to use their abilities. There were some nice things from Talon on their attacker side where there were some of those cheeky rounds where JitBoys TPs into his own smoke at the back of, towards defender side, but overall, I felt like, Gen.G still has that tremendous firepower. Even when they're getting double swung and things like that, they're still able to take down both players because they're just that fast in that game.
Hello, Rahul bhai. Welcome to the
so
stream.
many multi-kills, so many incredible moments from Karon again. And although he, maybe doesn't really win on some of these clutches, for example, Gen.G definitely has that mechanics, that firepower to really bring themselves over the board. And I think one of the bigger things is also just this maybe a slight trend of Talon having a weaker attack side half. I mean, that's kind of what happens after round 12, right? It ends in 9-3. You mentioned Talon had some, interesting strats and cheeky ideas as to how they want to take sides, but even after they do get these spike plants, they lose to Gen.G's retakes.
Yeah, exactly, and that's where things get really difficult. And a lot of times they were coming into their retakes with odd man situations as well. I mean, this is one of the more difficult challenges that every team that has to play Gen.G has to deal with, is the fact that you have so many players who can take those opening duels so incredibly well that you feel like you're constantly fighting on the back foot. And so they're able to kind of do that to Gen.G, flip it on its head a little bit on the other side of the map where they were reading the pushes that Gen.G wanted to do really well, getting their utility in the right places. But a lot of times, especially on the attacker side, Gen.G's utility placement was really good. There was one time on the back of Mound where Governor was back there trying to hold it, and they just smothered him into a corner and were able to get a double swing on him. So it's stuff like that that's just a little bit, there's like a little bit of an edge for Gen.G in that regard.
But I do love the fact that Talon are able, especially with Cruz IGLing, they are able to read Gen.G's game plan, actually forcing the timeout from Coach Solo, and down to, a bit of that map point play. You actually had Munchkin with the Sheriff kill, and that's the thing that brings Gen.G to 12 points. But Talon overall, a bit of that comeback. JitBoy still a little bit consistent. Interesting ideas from the Shadows, similar to the previous day that we casted the long combo with the Nightfall. But I think in this game overall, Ban and Governor stepped up. They definitely had a lot more crazy opening kills. Ban was a little bit more safe as to how he's getting some of these 1v1s. Governor, on the other hand, really wild with the showstopper.
It's a good moment. I was very, very impressed with Governor. I thought, one of the things that we talked about in the desk that we wanted to see was, Governor stepping up. He did. The problem was that JitBoys and Surf really could not handle the pressure here from Gen.G today. It was just too much. 12 kills between two of them, which just isn't going to cut it. Especially with JitBoys, the guy who has been so good for your team. A lot of people, maybe rate him as the highest player, the best player on your squad. But for them, not their best map, not really able to kind of hold down those anchor positions on their defender side. That's what really killed them. Gen.G was just kind of running over the defensive setups.
That's really a thing too. Yeah, I mean, great point by Paper Thin, because if you think about how Gen.G, I think it's also just a credit to how well Gen.G plays. They have these ideas, these plans as to push and pull across the map. Sometimes you'll have players like Munchkin pushing out, and then Surf kind of gets caught in the back. That's one of the things that happened in one of those rounds. And Talon really, on the attacking side, sometimes they forget some of these things. On the defense, that's where they shine. That's where they do a lot better. Cruz was getting some of these triple kill rounds, and we definitely love to see more of those.
Absolutely. This is an uphill battle for Talon, to be completely honest. Again, Gen.G was the champions at our kickoff. They were second place in Madrid. This is a hard battle. This was Gen.G's map pick, but Talon, and it got us all a bit curious, but yes, the next map is Ascent, which is Talon's pick. And how are you guys feeling about this? I love how you pointed out Cruz did make some great calls. They made some great reads. Is this going to be enough to bring this to map 3?
I think they have to. That's the thing. You don't really have a choice. And they picked this map for a reason. They had a great performance against Team Secret in their opening game and kickoffs. I do believe they are bringing back that 6-man, so perhaps that's a bit of an inkling as to how Talon might perform. You have the Sova player Lenny back in. Cruz probably still the caller, but then how does Gen.G really adjust around this? Because we haven't really seen know, how Gen.G might have changed up their Ascent game plan.
Finally, stream
Yeah, I
चली
don't
कब
think they
से
will.
अटकी
I
पड़ी
mean,
थी.
like, you know, for
Solid.
Gen.G, this is, like, in my opinion, you don't really have to change much until someone proves that you have to. You know what I mean? Like, or until you go up against, like, Paper Rex or something. Like, then certainly I think you're going to see some different looks and stuff like that. But I think at Ascent, it could probably just be sort of game is normal for you, you know, let Texture run around with an op, you know, Munchkin kind of does his thing. Garon's always good for clutches. Yeah, exactly. Locky on the Odin. I mean, it shouldn't, the recipe here doesn't need to be complicated for Gen.G, right? We're not trying to make something, you know, at a 5-star.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah, exactly. This is just some down-home cooking. Let's make it.
Yeah, that could be the case. I feel like that would be the wiser choice. But you never know. I mean, they could be experimenting with something else. It's still early, very, very early
Hello, I'm
stages, literal stage 1. With that, we got our own game to play. This is the first time
Oh, no.
Quack's playing.
Here we go. I don't
Yeah.
actually even know what the question is this time. Like, I'm just like so.
Yeah.
I'm so screwed.
Well, for those of you who don't know what this is called
Hello,
the Guess
chat.
and
Hello.
Gain
कोई जिंदा
poll,
है?
where us, the talents, the analysts here at the
Which
desk
team
get
will
to
have more
answer
first
this
kill in
question.
map
We have
2?
these questions every single day.
Gen.G
We either
for
rank up
the
or rank
win.
down. Where are you right now? Clinton, Paper Thin
हाँ
is a
है, हाँ
bronze.
तो बातें करें.
Definitely our lowest ranked on this particular game.
I feel like
and
I'm doomed if I pick what I want to pick.
yeah.
तीन अटक
and
गई थी मेरी.
It's hard. You know what? It's been really hard. It's been stressing Achilles out a little bit. It's been stressing all of us. It's so hard to predict something like this. Maybe it's a little bit tough. I don't know. Well, the question is, which team will have more first kills on map 2 Ascent?
First kills. Specifically first kills.
Specifically first kills.
There's a prize for
अभी
this,
ठीक
right?
हूँ 2 बजे
Apparently,
से
I don't
हूँ
know.
इधर.
Like, it
What?
could just
We
be.
went Tactibear?
It could
2 बज भी गए. वो
be
3
so
बजे
bad
आए.
because we promised
Okay.
like
I know,
5
so many
coaches
coaches.
already.
Yeah.
You each get a limb of Tactibear.
Guys, क्या आज दोनों teams की match देखी जाए? क्या
little
बोलते
things
हो?
here for you guys to
अगर Gen.G
reveal.
2-0 से जीतती है तो मैं थर्ड मैच
things to
देखूंगा
even-
वरना
so
स्ट्रीम
Clinton isn't a
एंड.
team player yesterday. Are you a team player today? Are we gonna like?
I have insider info again. No, I actually don't. But
Okay.
I'm going against my better judgment on this one.
Okay,
Same
Okay.
here, I think.
are you ready? You guys look so
So
nervous.
Yeah.
Maybe you do care where you rank more than you
Yeah, a
thought
little
based on
bit.
that first question that we had. All right, let's do the reveal in 3, 2, 1.
प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन
Oh,
तो
wow.
है
Oh,
हो रही है.
okay.
Interesting. Okay, guys. Why
ओए
Talon for
प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन
first
इसको नहीं
kills?
Should I
बोलते.
go first?
Yeah,
I
you go
think
first.
logical choice, probably Gen.G. You know how strong every single player is on that team. But just because of the map, just
Procrastination वो होता है
because
जब
Gen.G
काम
started
करने
out
का
on
मन ना हो.
defense, Talon starting
मेरे
on
को हो
attack,
रही
you know
अच्छा,
Governor,
हो
you know
रही है.
Ben, they're going to do some crazy things. I feel maybe first kills, they might win
वरना
out.
मैं तो मैनिफेस्ट कर रहा था.
Sorry, my earpiece fell out. I just feel like something is in the water with Talon right now. I feel like they got their confidence coming out of that second half, and I
ये
think that's
दीदी
all they
ओपी है
really
भाई.
needed. I mean, it was
She
not
supports
their map
Gen.G.
pick.
दीदी
Yeah, it was their map
आपका
pick the
ऐड
other
दो
day
मैं अभी
against
आपको
League,
फॉलो
but
करता
I
हूँ.
think it maybe more have been that they
सिम्प
felt
नहीं
like
कर
they
रहा,
had a
वो
good
भी
read
Gen.G के
against
supporter,
League.
मैं भी Gen.G
Not
का
to be true
supporter.
here.
W.
They actually pushed them pretty well. You know, if you can come out on that defender side.
ठीक है ना, चुप हो जा. मैं गाना सुनता हूँ तब तक. ही ही. अरे राफ्ता राफ्ता देखो आँख मेरी लड़ी है. हाँ डब्ल्यू सिम ए हेलो सिम्प नहीं है ब्रो. हेलो शी ऑल्सो सपोर्ट Gen.G. आई ऑल्सो सपोर्ट Gen.G. सो गॉट इट. XIMP नहीं, सिम्प किंग कोई और है. ठीक है, ये टाइटल मेरे को ना दे, ये कोई और है. इट्स नॉट मी. आई एम जस्ट अ ट्रू Gen.G सपोर्टर. सी 78% ब्रो. ये 78% का ऐड दो मेरे को. ए स्तुति मैं कोई सिम्प नहीं हो. ठीक है, सिम्प करना होता ना तो मैं किसी को ना. लेट्स गो गाइस, विश टू बाय सिम्प. भाई अगर मैं सिम्प होता ना तो मेरी जितने भी सब्सक्राइबर्स है ना, जो भी फीमेल्स है, मैं लिटरली उन सबको अपनी प्राइवेट आईडी पे बुला देता, ठीक है। मैं सिम बहुत नेक्स्ट लेवल तक कर सकता हूँ, बट मैं नहीं करता, cause I don't want to do it right now. हरामी। फिर से सेम लाइनअप, जोक था, ठीक है। डब्ल्यू, अबे तुम भैंसे जोक मत करा करो ना यार, मैं अपनी सच्चाई बोल देता हूँ। यार तूने बोला था जब भी जोक मारेगी तब इमोजी यूज करेगी, ये क्या है भाई?
Lenny is back in, Surf is out for this particular map. Talon is going to have to do everything they can to bring it to map 3. Bind. Let's go over to our casters for Ascent, Kilios and William.
Let's go, Gen.G, let's go.
Map number 2, Talon with a very solid effort over on Lotus. Now we go into their map.
ये कौन 25 लोग हैं जिसने TLN को करा है भाई? चैट में आओ जरा सामने आओ.
Maybe even more so, given who's playing what at the moment, as we do have Lenny stepping back in to play the Sova. But clearly Talon, they've been doing their homework. They've been getting prepped for this. So we'll see how Band does look.
मेरे को सम सॉल्व करने दो, बोलो, ठीक है भाई.
Not too much, but again, it's been a continuing trend of past duelists feeling
सुधी जाके सम सॉल्व कर, ठीक है. मेरी स्ट्रीम को म्यूट कर दे, चालू रखना और जाके सम सॉल्व करो.
Now I will mention Talon is the team that also picked the split against DRX.
या तो फिर एक काम करो, एक सम करो, चैट में आओ, वापस जाओ.
But they seemed very confident in their prep, even in that timeout coach video. Frost talks about it again, that they had confidence for good reason, just didn't work out in the execution. So curious to see what the homework has been done. As Gen.G doesn't exactly play a unique Ascent, they play pretty textbook.
कितना प्यार हो भाई, मैं अपने व्यूज गवा रहा हूँ हेंचर तुम्हारे सॉन्ग्स के चक्कर में.
Watching in towards main. For Gen.G, Meteor
वो काफी बड़ी अच्छी बनी है.
by over a tree at the moment, does have that turret to play contact for him.
टचवुड नजर ना लगाओ please.
Just one nano swarm over towards door.
I love this from Gen.G. I mean, they see here a couple of these early darts flying out.
Scared पे हूँ पर सम्स करके आऊँगी बार-बार. Thank you so much.
It's going to be the nano pop, but no one moving over towards door is Meteor. Also just taking a stray shot. He's get whittled down to 40 HP very quickly here. Shots now, knife out to go ahead and just try to break this door down, but Len coming through quickly here for this out of Talon. Van still disconnected from the rest of the team as Gen.G try to begin this retake, but already 2 kills going to be found as Texture and Munchkin both get eliminated. Now Lakia dead as well. It's only Jit Boys that's been traded out thus far. With Meteor down to 40 HP, things look very good here for Talon to be able to find the pistol round win.
Yeah, and the pop flash just to delay. You still got a double out in A main, so Talon playing it very safe. And the swing.
Andy, पहला round है, कोई बात नहीं.
Several of those kills, only Governor unscathed through the round, but Talon will be able to start things off quite nicely.
So Talon, they go for a bit of fake pressure onto B in mid. Now, they didn't know for a fact that Gen.G was stacked in mid, but it didn't matter because that was enough to make Gen.G think this is our safest bet. And I don't blame them, right? You had full mid control. You could rotate to either side at any point for a flood retake. They thought they had it even with the nanoswarm delaying the door close.
भाई दोनों साइड लेडी एडमिन है.
Post plant was already set up from Talon. Some early damage as well going their way. And once again, it's going to be a similar setup. Just Jit Boys looking on the lurk. He does have a Vandal, so he can't get too greedy on the A side. If you drop that, suddenly Gen.G's chances look very good on this eco.
Singularity के Ares भी है भाई. कितनी गंदी दिख रही है.
Straight through, and oh man, I mean, does put some damage down on the Lakia.
Lakia just tried to matrix his way around it, and he will survive. Not dipping down below that 60. Oh, but look at this. Gen.G immediately trying to re-clear B main. Goes for the pop flash. Now Talon hears it.
Everything silent here for the moment as Karan just picking up that one-way over at A. Off the angle, Ban just sending out a warning shot since Lakia scattering back over onto the B site, tail between his legs.
Yeah, I wonder if you're Talon. This is what I was going to say, because... Wow. Okay, well, you only showed the Killjoy on that re-clear of B main for a little bit. Now Ban even gets the kill, so that surely weakens the site. Governor's just going to try to forcefully open it up. Does have a Bulldog in hand, doesn't want to drop it too early.
Timing there.
Nice.
Here with the right clicks, able to find him. Bulldog, though, isn't recoverable. Looks like he has pushed out, has been able to grab this, given the smoke there on main. Now noting Ban forward. up in mid.
The rotation is called.
And you can hear him calling for it.
Nice.
Meteor able to drop the spike out into the
Ooh.
open. Finds himself a second kill.
Let's
Third
go, let's
rather
go,
in the
let's go.
round.
3v2.
Second in mid. Spike now picked
Bhai,
up, but
question na
time
kyun aa raha?
dwindling.
What the
Heron, Paranoia at the ready, sends it, tries to get the slow up, but Jit Boy's even full blind. Able to go ahead, take this position, finds the headshot with just a little under a second to spare. Spike will get planted.
Spike planted.
But already, this is far too many players
Nice.
lost on Talon as Texture. Swinging out on Heaven, gets the headshot there on the Jit Boys, and Munchkin picking up a
Let's
Bulldog
go,
himself.
babe.
Will be able to
Let's
find
go.
Band there in hell. Gen.G. Something about these thrifty, something about these rounds where they just don't have great purchases behind them. They just managed to persevere. We'll just go ahead and shift around, look for some weapons. Texture wanting his pick of the litter, I suppose. Wants to see if anybody else had something a bit juicier than a Bulldog. And there it is, a Vandal picked up. 1-1 is Gen.G. A very firm reply.
Yeah, Governor wanting to create more space as they didn't exactly clear the site. I get that. And you know that Gen.G normally, especially on these ecos, are going to be pretty far split. Something like a 4-1 or a 5, you know, all on one side, a bit of a stack. You realize that you
Bhai,
pushed
glitch
the
pop
build
W,
quite a bit, so
bro.
you think they're on
कल
the
मैंने
way
glitch
back
pop
to
से
B,
ace मारा था
but
भाई.
Meteor's there. He
जब मैं
goes for
offline
the
खेल रहा था,
curveball,
obviously
tries to
तब.
get the early weapon pickup,
क्या
and
ace था
that's
भाई वो.
all Gen.G needed.
ऐसे
Can't
लग रहा था कि
ever
head पे
give
crosshair
them
जा
even
रहा
an
है.
inch.
Fuck.
Try to claw their way back in. Now the Odin right away coming online alongside a couple of the picked up rifles.
You get the ping off there from the recon. 0 point at the ready, but held on to. Munchkin sent it right then. Got a big reveal, but this will just be an even bigger one. Spots him out, but up a little bit closer than he might have anticipated. You brief little back away there from Talon. Not liking what they're seeing here on this A site. Retreat Lakia. Oh yeah, the covering fire is there though from
Nice one,
Meteor.
Meteor.
Keeps him protected.
Oh, I mean, it was risky. A Meteor at 20 health as well. It seemed like Ban was somewhat wary of another member potentially going for that cover, seeing as the drone was used so closely. This time, Texture on bodyguard duty. His crosshair gets shaken up.
Meteor.
Trying to push forward, but he only has that classic in
Nice.
hand. Now Meteor able to collect the kills. Cruz will also be taken down at the same time there in main. Lakia able to find it. Lenny scooping up that Guardian to see if he can put it to use and avoid this being a flawless round, but he himself will fall as Lakia, like we said, Lotus sounds like a scent. The Odin rings out, it makes its presence known, and Gen.G will move up 2-1.
Obviously, losing that anti-eco, Talon on their back foot in the previous round, so we'll see if they can claw their way back in here. You know, the initial reads, both at the beginning of round 1 and 2, solid. Once again, continuing that trend from Lotus. The prep seeming to be very good for Talon. But when it comes to Gen.G, you always got to assume there's more than one. There's always a trade available.
Guys,
with
इन
this
लोग ने भी
squad.
stream को अभी तक like नहीं किया, जल्दी से like कर देना. And if you are new to the channel, do subscribe. Exclamation new vid करके अगर नई वीडियो नहीं देखी जाके देख लेना.
Farmers in the mix there. No outlaw on the opposite side. See how they decide to pilot this one. Looks like this time it's going to be full attention over towards B. Leaving Band back to try to linger outside. See if anyone goes on an aggressive push out of A main.
Yeah, Lakia had a lot of consideration on the timings he wanted to use this. Now you will spot the jet all alone. Obviously, something fishy about that.
I'm not seeing the Killjoy. Should start suspecting there's going to be more players in behind that jet. Tags through the wall. That's going to be the null command now coming through, but they still have to try to deal with this Odin on the opposite side. Shots going in. Governor getting tagged down at 54. Band going to be dropped. Just can't find one. Meteor is able to get that jet. Now Cruz on the floor as Lakia.
stream? कुछ नहीं.
Okay. Just mow them all down.
They did come in way faster than expected, for sure. And have all get mowed down, like you said. And a big part of that was Talon, once again, their utility was good. The setup was good for Governor, but it's a little bit too much faith in their own utility, assuming that Gen.G would have backed out, that they would be looking away, things like that.
Getting the jump there, I'm not sure if it necessarily changes the outcome too much, but
I don't know, मेरे को OBS में कोई notification आया नहीं है.
coming to fruition.
ना frame drop हुआ है, ना reconnect हुआ है.
Pause is going to be called in.
हाँ, और YouTube पर भी सब सही दिखा रहा है. Excellent connection आ रही है.
I know. Their power is growing too much, Julius. How do we stop them?
Spread. Well, it looks like it's going to be something here on the Talon camp. Audio issue. for the side.
Let me
So
check.
we'll just go ahead and hopefully get this taken care of quickly. He's already given a couple nods, so we might have fixed this in record time.
I'll say it might just have been something for a quick double check here. And that does happen every now and then, as long as we can get through. Lots of fans here, as we do have Korean teams playing back-to-back matches. But of course, as we've been mentioning, I mean, lots of local fans growing for all the teams in Pacific as well.
Talon fighting, you can do it.
There. Speaking of Talon and Korean fans, I saw a great post from the Talon side earlier today where they were saying you can take the player out of Korea, but you can't take the Korea out of him. And it's Governor checking his desk height with a ruler. It's just classic Korean esports thing.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Shout outs to Flash.
Yeah, really set that trend.
But clear on the dart, not going to be able to get the ping off this time. Your point will be used. Munchkin still trying to stand his ground. Heard the TP, and will also get a fairly nasty shot across on the Jit boys. As
Slightly by or devil by CC और what Revenant, yes sir. मैं भी देखा, मैं तेरे को उस टाइम बोला था जब तू पहले चैट में आया ना, मैंने तभी तेरे को बोला. मैं देखा like oh भाई चलो सही है.
One of these rounds where they're on their back foot, a little bit of extra pressure. Obviously, last time they eventually
मैं दोनों की स्ट्रीम पे जाके कॉन्गो बोल के आया.
And they tried their best with the classics only.
मैं
But
इंस्टा
again,
खोला और
just
फिर मेरे को दिखा.
continuously
Oh,
pressuring
okay.
that alarm bot, things like that. Now, Gen.G's prepared for it. I'm not saying looking at the minimap that it would work, but it is just something of a trend that Talon could use to continue to condition their opponents in the future rounds.
trying to use that high pen of the Guardian. So some fire back here against Lakia. Still 60 rounds to go. As okay, yeah, he just
hears it.
Hears him going for the jiggle peaks. He's able to take him down.
I mean, I was going to mention again, look at this, right? There's backup from
hello
Meteor. It's still
chat
going to be
ka.
two people holding the angle, but doesn't even need it.
Well, now everybody getting ready to storm their way in towards tree. Smoke thrown in. Texture looking to hold the door. Quick dash out there from Governor, but HP bar is low. Will be cleaned up. Flawless. Coming through here for Gen.G once more. It's now 4-1.
चैट तो सारी पड़ी है. मैं वही तो बोल रहा हूँ, मैं जैसे नॉर्मल स्ट्रीम करता हूँ वैसे ही कर रहा था. मेरे को नहीं पता डिस्कनेक्ट हुआ है, फ्रीज हुआ है, कुछ हुआ है.
Are looking good.
Lockdown to work with here for Talon.
Yeah, curious to know if this is going to be a timeout or not. We'll have to wait and see as we check out the
वरना मैं
highlights.
तो YouTube पे OBS कोई तो पता था ना कि
These are
ऐसा
the
सीन हो
easier
रहा है.
rounds, right?
कुछ
The
नहीं बोल
opponents are on an equal or half
Blackout
by.
distance.
All you really have to do is wait to see what the Hail Mary tends to be. It is going to be a Talon timeout. Curious to see the discussion here because, again, the first like 30, 40 seconds of rounds, I would say one, even all the way through three, were pretty solid for Talon. They had, good setups, they had good reads, and then, one person gets a little too far ahead or maybe a little bit of discrepancy on the timings amongst each other. That's where things fall apart at the seams.
Seems like this might be the upper limit of when
और बता खाना हो गया या तेरा?
Frost feels the need to call a timeout. Same scoreline that we saw there on Lotus. It's in a bit of a different order as far as which rounds are picked up.
Sure, but the four, in a row, right? That's the big one here.
Ever seen the YouTube channel Bad Lip Reading?
Oh, yes.
I'd love to do that for the coaches.
Actually, that would be good, especially with coaches like Frost. I mean, there's
very animated.
I was thinking earlier someone should try to make him kind of dance to the beat that we have during the timeout. He's very animated.
Well, there's a free content idea for somebody out there.
Yeah, there's endless amounts with Alex as well.
Million views on TikTok while you still can.
नवरात्रि का, okay.
Sprinkle in a little Barbar and Alex somewhere in there.
Texture,
nice
boy,
one.
Kyle's crunch, and
Sexy.
it is working out gorgeously. Pan finally able to find one kill back. Fragment at his feet.
yeah.
Blown out of the water.
Gen.G भाई, Gen.G versus Fnatic.
Quick and easy, and I mean, Gen.G.
मेरे लिए proper धर्म संकट भाई.
Karen on the peak, able to find one. Now suddenly it's all down to Cruz to see if he can try to answer something back. He will not. Karen finds himself a second kill, and you gotta really respect and love the adjustment there from Gen.G, just not allowing for Talon to get any footing, any kind of value out of that timeout. They say, okay, well, they probably won't expect this.
भाई मटके के ठंडे पानी में ना जो मिट्टी का स्वाद आता है भाई.
For it as well.
This is basically Texture. I mean, sure, there's util thrown, but there was nobody else in tiles for the longest time.
Which is why it was kind of an interesting tiles crunch, right? It's not the usual throw everything and let them know that you're coming in. It's more just Texture dashing out. Governor thinks he can get the better of him.
भाई पता नहीं क्या
Now
हो
the
गया.
ops online for Texture as well, waiting for
इतना
the
वाहियात दिख रहा है ना
updraft.
ये.
That's unlikely. Probably the drone. to try to check up over the top of bench, but either way, not used yet. Lenny in position. Not going to send it here, it would seem. Meteor wants to try to get that turret out of the way. And oh, spotted.
Nice.
Governor thinking that he was gaining some space here for free. Eventually is found. Nice drag across there from Ban. Does find the headshot. Lockdown committed. Thanos wants to try to deny the push in, but Lockdown does not care. Continues to just move past it. Does destroy it. No real movement coming through from Talon so widely. They're just stagnant.
I mean, that's what surprised Lakia a bit too, it seemed, right? He breaks the lockdown, he's ready for people to push him, and doesn't happen, so he says, I'll eat the Nanostorm, I'd rather regroup with my teammates. So Talon, again, a couple moments here where they seem a little bit out of sync. I mean, the early lockdown itself, that's not the issue, but no one there to capitalize on it.
Wow. Come on, man.
I mean, he was 2 HP.
I know, but come on, man.
Am I allowed to use the word lucky on that one? I feel like I should be allowed to use it on that one.
Yeah, that one was pretty damn lucky. And is now waiting for the opportunity to try to get this plant in.
Nice, son.
I mean, look at where, I mean, Lockett was nowhere near to be able to get that reveal as well. His Texture not even letting him get the cash from the plant. Quick peek off the top of
6-1, bro, 6-1, let's go.
Take out Lenny.
Bhai, last match की तरह मत करना भाई.
Much slide out of hand here for Talon.
Yeah, not a lot to work with either. Yeah, you have Dante
ये जो
Siri,
speed है
but
भाई यही
lockdown on the other side that you've got to be wary of. And of course, the half
भाई हमें
buys,
इतनी
you start
आदत
to
क्यों
get into
होती
a
है
little
लोगों को
trouble,
सलाह
so we'll
देने
see
की.
what they decide to commit
ऐसा
to.
तो क्या ही है
But
हमारे.
this round was just a case of Talon
ये
trying to
texture ने
spread out
कैसा मारा
apart to get a little bit more information, a little bit more control of the map.
Piro player बोलते हैं भाई, Piro player.
Delicious.
Yep.
आया घर में भाई. Yes भाई तेरे वहाँ तो और
So maybe a little bit more grouping up. Now, I get why Talon might have made the adjustments, right? They were trying to stay grouped up earlier, but they were a little slow on getting the information, eventually getting red. So they want to put pressure across the map. But you gotta win the duels if you want to do things like this.
Texture just so confident with it.
आपसे pick
That's
कर दे.
exactly where Ban is going to be.
ये बिना सोचे.
Just trust that he's going to be able to pull the trigger a little bit faster than Ban can. Let's reveal out, looking for the spray across, but
थोड़ा जोर से बोल, headphone नहीं है.
rewarded for it.
यस तेरे वहाँ कितनी गर्मी है.
Still at full health and now just turning fire with his own Odin through that wall.
साले तो आवाज बढ़ाया ना, मेरे को भी जोर से बोलवाला है.
Backwards.
अला
Just
पहले
to
तो
see
तला
if
क्यों हो
there's
गया.
any more util being used, see if there's a chase. Now there wasn't on the side of Talon. So Gen.G, they already called the operator over just in case it
ज़्यादा
was.
नहीं, थोड़ी सी.
Knowing that you can still delay a lot with the Killjoy util on B. You've got Meteor set up to watch for mid. I mean, look at Gen.G.
Hello,
Anytime they
Kola.
make rotations, the
हो गया
amount of
तुम्हारा
coverage
सब.
they have and the wind conditions being kept, it's so good.
30 seconds left.
Now trying to go for the entry, trying to play this concisely, send out the flash, start pushing the smoke, but there's a note on the opposite side. Jit Boys is able to find one. Nice catch there on the Munchkins. He was trying to start working his way across in through mid. Hunter's Fury now out from Lakia.
बात तो सही बोली तूने, बढ़ा ली आवाज, don't abuse.
Meteor Spike now getting planted.
Spike planted.
In with 8 seconds to spare.
यस की मम्मी अगर आप सुन रही हो तो.
They know that Jit Boys is going to be there in main.
दीदी जी नमस्ते. वाह.
They try to flush out the rest of these players.
Jit Boys just waiting for the cue to pounce.
Smoke gone. Cruz taken down. Governor 10 HP here. The back of the
Ooh,
site.
sexy.
That's going to be Texture flushing him out with the knives. Quick right click to finish the job. The fuse coming through. It's now 7-1. Gen.G
Let's go.
very far out in front.
Still have
जल्दी
the op,
जल्दी
still have the
जल्दी
Odin as
भागो
well.
भाई, दूसरा सम
So
करना है.
all things considered,
जल्दी.
Gen.G feeling like they can
भागो.
continue the streak. I mean, 7 in a row. The amount of rounds that they've
भाई
strung
ये
together
क्या
in this
सच्ची शॉट था
match.
यार.
Started Lotus with 4 in a row, got another 4 in a row in the first half there.
One enemy
Now
remaining.
7. Sure, it's on the defense side of Ascent, but just not really in any danger of losing that streak. Texture 12-2.
Yeah.
Wow. 6.0 game.
I mean, mind you, they all have 2 deaths except for Meteor.
Oh, that's true. I mean, it's been pretty smooth sailing in all these rounds.
There's the peek. Ooh.
अरे
Okay.
कैसे
Yeah,
लो
miss from
लो भी
Texture.
नहीं हुआ.
You can tell he's feeling it though.
आप
right?
कैट
The
की
confidence
तैयारी
just
कर
peek out there
रहे.
right before the
अभी ये
util
क्या टाइप
comes
कर रहा
out.
है भाई. यस ये कैसा टाइप
Just to
करा
push
तूने.
them back. Gives them the time to clear out B. The turret cleared once again. I mean, Gen.G is making Talon starved for information, and this time Talon's on an eco too, so it's not like Gen.G really needed that to gain an advantage in this round, but they are just being thorough.
Take flight.
Well, it's the commit on the ult, the drop
धर
down.
उसको धर
Lenny
धर ले मंचिक
trying to stay alive in this situation,
धर ले
but
धर
they
ले
are rushing in, looking for the kill.
Nice.
Munchkin will be able to find it, Lockie in the meantime, just doing the same damn thing over and over again. Manages to get the kill there on the bat.
पानी
Now
वाली
pushed up,
बंदूक
anticipating some pressure into the smoke.
Yeah, seems to be aware of
They're
Governor.
forward
Ooh.
and the Odin just comes right back out. Cruz will be able
Nice
to get
one by Let's
on
go.
the back end there. As Lakia will get taken down, but Gen.G, the Ranatera, it will not be brought to an end. 8 rounds now. All of these
अरे
have been
ओडी
in a
नहीं ले
row.
उसने हाँ
And it doesn't look like it's going to stop, right? Ults are coming back online. The weaponry is all still there. Everyone's been capped on credits for a couple rounds now, especially with the low amount of deaths that Gen.G has.
उसने
Lakia,
जंप
the
शॉट
only
दिया
one now
ओडिन का
catching up,
हाँ
one closer to Meteor.
वो कूदा और भाई उसने मारा देख
Just the awareness again, things like that. Hiding in the smoke with the shorty, being
भाई
aware of the
वाली
fact that Governor
एक
might
ये
have
और
gotten through.
सेंटिनल्स का सॉसी
Keeping
भाई क्या
tabs
ओडिन
on the
चलाते हैं भाई
opponent.
दोनों
Governor talking about texture 13-2-1. To be remiss to not
मेरे को याद है एसएन वर्सेस जेएनजी था ना एसेंट मैप था भाई कैसे चलती है भाई इनकी यार पता नहीं भाई अवरेज नहीं चलती अपनी एक गोली दूसरी साइड पे एक गोली दूसरे मैप पे जाती है
And it's just so
Young
many of
Guns
these
just can't
rounds.
do anything.
Yeah, where Governor
ये
kind of
देखो,
feels the
shot
need to
देख।
do something on his own, right?
Trying to push up.
अरे यार।
Shot gonna go wide.
टेक्सचर में क्लिप बनने वाली थी क्या कर रहे हो
Taking an immense amount of space, but dashes in and Locky again. Able to mow him down. Lenny just not close enough to try to follow up. Cruz now put
उसने
down on
flick
the
मारा
floor.
क्या?
Is resible, but damn near suicide.
हो गया दूसरा भी हो
Trying to
गया
go for that one.
दैट्स अनवेयर
Just
व्हाट
kind of have to leave him to bleed out.
Oof.
Lenny himself will just get caught. Banned now. Lurks
और
forward.
रेवेनेंट का
Spotted.
ब्राउन वर्ड को
Texture
भूल
with 3.
गया अरे
On
दोनों
an
को भाई
absolute tear. 9-1 now.
Now, the dash in there, it was set up. It was a
मेरे
pop
पास अभी
flash
फोन
setup
अवेलेबल नहीं
coming
है
in
वरना
from
मैं स्टोरेज
Cruz.
अपलोड
So
करूंगा
again,
लाइक
there was an
आफ्टर
idea,
वॉच
but
पार्टी
it's
अभी दोनों
Gen.G.
की
There's
चैट में
gotta be more than
कांग्रेचुलेशंस
one, right? So even if
लिखा
Governor
है।
had gotten the kill on the dash in,
और
there's
क्या
no one
करूं
there to
भाई,
trade
बता।
for him. Just seems like it's some of these Hail Mary situations where they're trying to just say, Governor, go kill, I'll set you up. But even if he does, can he string more than one when he's getting into a crossfire? That's the big question.
Limited tools to work with, Lenny. I mean, he does have a Hunter's Fury to use in case that lockdown comes into play from Meteor. Now things
भाई ऐसे स्ट्रेट कैसे
Slowed
बैठे
up.
रहते हैं भाई अपने से नहीं होते ऐसे स्ट्रेट
Talon
मैं नहीं बैठ पाता
Buddy.
भाई
worked around here towards this B side. The bright spot is that Lakia does not have an Odin.
Scanning ahead.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of backup. Might as well be enough bullets for an Odin.
कैसे करते हो मेरी कैट तो
Now the drone will spot
बात
it. He's
नहीं
looking for a
सुनती।
kill.
Drone spots him now, paranoid.
Grammar
There's the Hunter's
comes
Fury
in.
comes across. Being able to find one, but Jits Boys does go ahead and quickly trade it
ठीक है
back,
भाई
maintaining the man
साले ये
advantage here for them. Karen,
झोंक तो नहीं
however,
मार ले
found
हरामी
himself situated in boats.
गवर्नर
All the
09
chaos, clear out
Wow.
on that recon. They
है
know that
क्या?
he's their texture now. Dead. Governor getting himself on the board for the first time. Finds 2 kills. And that's going to be Lenny finding the finish. Talon able to right the ship here at long last. Break the win streak from Gen.G.
मरना मत
Now we're in a
प्लीज
chance where
ठीक
they
है
can
भाई
once again have a 9-3.
कहाँ 09
They desperately want it.
अब इस राउंड में
Now,
मारे
they have the
इसमें
weaponry. There is a lockdown on the other side. Hunter's Fury, one away as well. So curious to see Talon.
पहले जोक
Let's
तो
see if
नहीं
there's
मार
a
तू
lockdown.
यस ये रील मैंने
Obviously,
4 साल पहले
you could
देखी
just
थी
try to storm the site
जब कैट
and have
इतनी फेमस
plans
भी
for
नहीं थी तब
afterwards.
अब भी 2 मारा हाँ
Governor now finally
आ गया कॉलेज
getting
से कर दे
involved.
सबमिशन
Bringing an attack operator actually into this last round.
असाइनमेंट्स
See if he can put that to use.
I don't mind it. Can help play it a little bit slower. Try to snip out where Texture might be. See if there's a reaction off of that. No, the alarm bot was not destroyed, so no reason for Texture to make a move.
Yeah, a lot deeper. Also
Here.
has Meteor. Able to watch in case somebody's going to
Here.
भाई दोनों को बताया कहाँ पर है
alongside towards pizza. Good texture,
अरे।
okay. Eventually says, you know what?
हाँ भाई
We'll
सॉरी
make a
माफ कर
witness.
दे भूल गया तू
He did.
बिरबल के टाइम का है वही
No,
तो
he
यार
didn't.
क्या
And
कर
Governor
रहे
had the
हो
right read.
कुछ
right?
नया
Eventually,
लाओ
if they don't have information, someone's going to peek out.
खुद से बनाओ.
Thankful to him, it was texture. Now the op down.
Slow creeping up. Swap out on the weapon,
Nice.
but he doesn't have it drawn down.
कर
Call the
दिया.
Converse
Good,
in
good.
hand. Spray from Lenny, however, will be able to find Munchkin. He's unable to escape. Meteor now arriving. Lockdown at the ready. Here's them rotating out. Ban, the last one, getting ready to push.
Nice.
He swings out, finds the kill. Cruz taking down his
अरे
behind
sexy
two.
bro.
Shit boys now.
फट गई उनकी, फट
Last
गई.
one left, and there's a lockdown invested just to really give him a hard time. Karon playing a little bit, just continues the wide swing. Eventually does fall, but the Meteor was right there for the kill. 10-2 this time.
Let's go bro. 9-3. ये भी half
Reminds
9-3
me
हो
of
गया.
that moment when Karon had that very wide swing. I believe it
9
was
था
against
यार.
Loud.
भाई मेरे को round
And
याद
he
नहीं रह
talks
रहा है.
about
क्या
it
सीन
in
है?
one-
अल्जाइमर हो गया मेरे को.
Somebody's going to be creeping up that right
9-2.
time on the half.
Reminds me of that moment when
Hey,
Karon
Chipotle,
had
what
that
the fuck?
very wide swing. I believe it was against Loud. And he talks about it in one of the content pieces he's done actually with Binbon, one of the Korean casters, and they ask him, what was going on through your head there? He says, well, you know, I kept doing left, right jiggles, and I kept dying. So I thought this time, why not? Damn it, I'll just go all the way to the left.
I'll just hold S or whatever, it'll work. Hold D, hold A.
Yeah, there you go. Well, this time, another wide swing there. Some tricks up his sleeves that he's picked up from Madrid. Now a 10-2 hefty lead. So Talon, I mean, forget the first half, no matter what you prepared in the second, might not even get a shot to show it.
Yeah. And it backs up against the wall. I mean, we've only seen recoveries like the one that would be necessary here for Talon a handful of times. You know, the run back Fnatic at lock-in.
अरे हाँ, स्तुति मैंने तेरे को भेजा. आज ही भेजा. ओह.
Very few and far in between.
अरे मैं उसके बारे में भूल ही गया
That
था.
is just a big old streak of green for Gen.G. And if this pistol goes their way, it could just be the final nail in the coffin.
Got the Sheriff for Meteor as well on that attack. Killjoy. Been seeing that pop up more and more, almost becoming the norm now. Some of these maps. He's got the firepower. Cruz with a frenzy instead of a ghost. Looking for a bit of a skirmish right off the bat.
Well, 7 more seconds. Flush out the game plan.
कौन किसको भूल गया? अरे नहीं, तूने जब भी जोक मारा ना गंदा वाला, उसी के लिए मैंने स्तुति को भेज दिया. आज या कल.
Players over towards this B site where it's going to be a double market push set up there for a brief little moment. Suppression does come in. Governor going to hold the angle, spots him though. He's able to back away.
Oh, how much support is there? Saw a cheeky little
स्तुति क्या? स्तुति सम करो
classic, it
जाकर.
looked like they're maybe trying to put in some nightmares
वापस
back
बोलो
into
मेरा
Gen.G's
ध्यान
minds.
सम में है था. हाँ हाँ सम करो सम करो.
A hell of a kryptonite.
तुमको जो करना था तुमने कर दिया है.
Both the Omen and the KO getting pinged by that, that's pretty big. If they're together, you gotta imagine
कीर्ति
that's where
बोला
the rest of
अभी
the
है.
team is, but that Paranoid doesn't hit.
हाँ भाई आग लगा दे तो
The
ठीक
shots
है.
absolutely do. Ban able to find two.
कीर्ति को तो बोला भी नहीं
all
मैं.
dead.
आया
Now
वाला
just
कीर्ति
lock in
बोला.
Meteor.
और उसको पता है हो जाते
Rapidly
गलती, ठीक है?
rotating back
वो बुरा
around,
नहीं
but
मानेगी.
footsteps gonna be heard.
ओए मैं तो मानना
Noted
रे
here.
स्तुति.
As Ban has a very deep creep up here, and he gets the headshot instantly, as well as one on the lock here for the 4K.
इसी के बाद करो Gen.G, ये तो मत करो अब. मतलब अच्छा हाफ है ठीक है, but still.
And that very much speeds up the process.
अरे ये
of trying to
घर में
get that
मार
ever
देगी
important
भाई
lockdown
मेरे को.
online.
Yeah, the lockdown's the big thing here. Not only do they get a
हो नहीं
clean
जाती
win on
भाई,
missile,
होती ही
they get
है.
a very crucial ultimate. One step
हाँ
closer
ठीक है ना.
for the defense, for things
होती
like
है
the
भाई अब क्या
retakes.
करो.
Feeling comfortable now.
अच्छा लगता है.
To start the pressure
भाई
nice and
कैसे
early
इंसान
on B
सीखता है.
main.
और मैं वो भी नहीं
Couple other buys
सीखता.
as well, mostly the double specters.
उसी में
though.
तो मजा है भाई. उसी में तो तुमको भी मजा
This
आता
rush gets
है.
ready to come in. That shock
कभी
dart
कभी
potential to do a decent amount of damage. Looks
तुम्हारे
like
लिए
widely
करता हूँ
though
भाई.
Gen.G able to
बाकी
avoid it.
मैं बड़ा सुलझा हुआ इंसान हूँ
Shot,
bro.
Lenny holding down with the Ares, giving him a
Bro,
taste of their
what
own
the fuck?
medicine.
क्यों जाना है? Just
Himself
change
a
the side.
triple. Spike picked up. Spring has to go for the reload here. As Munchkin trying to make the best out of a bad situation, will grab the orb and start backpedaling before the Ares shots can follow up again. Which is classics in hand. Not much that Gen.G are going to be able to do from this position, even though they are the thrifty gods.
If they are able to continue with a flawless here, as we see Karon with a bit of an advertising moment, Talon looks pretty good, right? It's on an Oda, but it's still an Ares. You've still got a Guardian for some extra pen, a little bit of long-range hold, perhaps in mid, things like that. The Observer knows exactly what to do here. In case you were wondering which team caps you wanted to buy, here's a choice.
It's just going to be Pac-Man gameplay here. Across the map, grab the orbs, pivot it right back over to B. Yes, yep.
Bande बेच रहा है अपना.
A little smile on
By
his
the
face as
Gen
well. I think
Monday.
he knows that he's being watched.
Yeah, you've got to imagine. And Munchkin's not having any of it. Munchkin's still looking for frags. He's still got hope in this round.
I hope that Karen just runs into somebody. He doesn't even shoot back at them.
Yeah, he just
keeps
holds it.
inspecting.
Commit to the bit.
Well, it's the push out. Let's see if they can get anything.
Ace,
It's gonna be
bhai.
Lenny scooping up an ace here in the second round of the half.
उन्होंने सोचा
Balls
आओ
across
भाई
the
एस
board
दे
for
देते हैं इसको.
Talon. Absolutely necessary here for the squad.
I mean, 5 points towards Yunter's Fury, 4 points towards the lockdown. It's as good of a start as any for Talon. It's just that the hill is a very big mountain to climb.
लेने के देने पड़ गए.
Well, I mean, they didn't have to die.
Yeah.
Weren't getting that spike planted. So Governor,
ये गाना क्या
right
है?
before the replay, actually teasing and playing around with the idea of going for the operator here in this third round, but opts for that outlaw instead.
Yeah, you've got the half armors on the other side.
Exactly. Could very well be rewarded for it. I mean, everybody was buying half armor in that previous round, so.
Oh, this is a big clear, right? Mid's cleared up all the way to top mid as well. Tree still held for the potential retake.
Be a very fast retake here for the side of Talon. So just look to get everybody in position, but turret is set up for this, so now they know that there's at least one player behind.
Spike planted.
As there's the swing in. Governor
Oh.
and Band getting one apiece.
They got to push out. Gen.G needs a little bit more space to work with here.
Good time.
Nice one.
Locking gets in front of the paranoia, is able to find Jit Boys, but Texture with a quick little upcap peek. Not spawning much of anything. Smoke down. Cutting off main once again here as Governor
Nice.
trying to get the peek in, but
Ooh.
two. He takes a bolt down now. Lakia
Ooh.
gets Lenny.
Nice.
Himself at 3K.
Let's go.
And that is going to be the second half bonus going
भाई
the way of
लाकिया क्या
Gen.G.
मारता है भाई. कभी-कभी लाकिया
Talon
मार
and all
देता,
the
कभी
advantages
मीटियर,
there,
कभी
but they
टेक्सचर.
think
ओ
that they
भाई.
can just double swing Lakia next to the switch.
Every
and
round
count a
is an
quick double
entertaining
tap
round भाई.
onto the
Literally.
main retake.
Here's a timeout call, you would suspect. Take a look back at this one, though.
What a TX.
And he's ready for it. He knows they're going to swing wide, too. He knows that's the only information they have for certain. It's going to be...
It's not much of an adjustment that you need for
Sure.
those shots, but it's still just so quick and clean.
Yeah, and just the preparation, right? And sure, Talon, you could argue, well, why are they both looking that side? Because that was the only one they knew for a fact. They wanted to go and get the kill for sure. They thought they had the numbers advantage. Then they would be able
भाई
to
अगर
at least
इन्हें
come in
player
from heaven
को
and clear the site.
अगर
Little
प्लेयर
did
को
they know it
कुछ
was
जाना
Kara,
हो
the
वॉशरूम
sharpshooter,
वगैरह तो
waiting
कैसे
for him on the
जाएंगे
other
बे?
side. Oh, man, and it all comes from Gen.G
Hello.
also kind of pushing out towards a
Arigato.
tree, right? And the
Okay,
texture
हो गया, नहीं
updrafting
करना
as
था,
well.
shit.
So now Talon a little bit
कुछ नहीं
pressed for
बोला मैं.
time on that retake.
हाँ मैं ये बोल रहा था अगर इनको कहीं जाना वाना
Still-
होगा तो कैसे जाएंगे?
I mean, it's just
टाइम
be a
आउट लेके या
fantastic
फिर
start to the
रुक
half
जाएगा
if
सब
it
कुछ?
wasn't for that scoreline, if it wasn't for that opening attack side.
एक जाएगा फिर दूसरे को
so
जाना पड़ेगा
one-sided
फिर
in
भाई
Gen.G's
ऐसा तो
favor. Normally, you'd be able to shrug off that bonus loss and say, okay, well, it's fine. Now we get the full purchase,
arigato
we can match
क्या
them with firepower.
क्या? Sorry.
Gen.G are just 2 rounds away from closing out this series.
Karen one tap,
Operator
two
here in
tap.
the hands of Governor, but it's going to be Glass Cannon. No additional cash to go alongside it.
Yeah, they're going to try to peek out mid as well.
वो निकल गया पता नहीं आरिगा तो निकल गया वो.
Going to get forced away.
The drone being a bit distracted. Think not going to find him. And now there's the drone up over
ए
the top.
दरा.
This is all for
Dash out.
Ban.
Yeah, like you said, this is all for Ban to try. Get him into a winnable position. Jit Boy's able to find one. Cruz swinging out from tree, able to find 2. Ban's involvement not necessary, it would seem, as Lakia now caught. That suddenly just leaves Karon all in his lonesome spots. 1. Just the shoulder there, swing across. This time the headshots not going to be found nearly as cleanly. As pop flash right as he TPs into tree. Swing out, and will be able to collect the second one. Fantastic adjustments here from Talon.
And I love that Governor commits to it all the way. Not only does he cover the dart, but then he moves ahead of the 0 point to try to make sure he sells the idea that that was just to hide himself. Shoots the drone as well, risking the fact that he might get picked off before the dash. Sets up an amazing trap for Talon. It's a good bounce back.
Cleanly done. Operator, the firepower now getting stacked up even further as Lenny has the Odin in the mix. Got both of these high-powered weapons right here on the same side. Spray across. I mean, look at the HP bars. Munchkin, he's got nothing. Texture,
अरे
10.
यार
as Lenny.
Bro,
hungry
2
for another
round
ace.
करने
Hasn't even used the
let's
Hunter's Fury.
go.
Hasn't needed to.
कितना मरा
Shot
हुआ
from the
cheer
Sheriff
कर रहा हूँ
trying
इनको.
to answer something back.
Governor's hungry for it. He knows there's one more.
Oh, you what?
Lakia play around these limitations here, playing against the box, but there's the shock dart layered in to really seal the deal on the kill.
Lakia dodged almost everything, just not the last bit. But overall, good prep from Talon as well, right? This is a round where Gen.G could afford to try to do a full send Hail Mary with things like the null command, so they're ready for a B rush. Deflected successfully.
Daron spotted, taken down, Cruz spraying into the smoke, able to find Meteor. And yeah, there's a Bulldog, but you're not getting to it. Phantom spray, able to find the target there. That is gonna be Talon,
please.
keeping themselves alive and well here in this game.
Gen.G is going to have to do some
If
major
Gen.G win
consideration on
this,
what they want to
I'll
use their
end the
ult,
stream.
because Talon's ult cycle is coming online much quicker than expected. And, you know, they cycle through one ult at a time, things like that. Talon might just be catching up in an instant.
One enemy remains.
Oh. 5 to tie. Still just that Hunter's Fury, but Ban one away from having the lockdown ready to go. With the null command, though, could prove to be difficult here as Governor's taking so much forward space. Munchkin just around the corner. Does he actually swing this one? The tailwind is gone.
Nice, Munchkin.
That's when he decides to strike. Huge opening kill here for Gen.G. That aggression, very well made, just be Talon's undoing here.
That had to have been some sort of internal timer as well. Munchkin just perfect with it. His teammates ready to swing afterwards. Mid and all the way up to Garden and Tree, all taken over. And now Talon's aware of this. The adjustment is here from Lenny. But the null command stops him. He's gonna get a double.
Swinging out here into mid, gets so much damage across, but just can't quite confirm these other kills. Texture in the meantime finds Jin Boys. This is just gonna be TP after TP forward there from Karen to get himself into the site safely and shut the door. There in Cruz's face. And on Heaven. Sure, and Lakia. No HP between the two of them.
Oh, and look at Munchkin. Knowing the health situation here, just asking for Gen.G the whole time.
Nice. भाई टेक्सचर 3 HP है, मार दिए दोनों को. Let's go. ये होता है duelist. W.
Gen.G now get themselves up to match point.
You can't help but think back to the first half as well, right? After a round like that, you imagine normally you brush it off, you move on. Great shots from Texture, good for you, Gen.G. Talon can move. It just had to have been a timing there that Munchkin's just waiting for.
भाई लाकिया की ऑडियंस से बहुत crucial round
He was
निकला
holding
भाई
that far wide angle.
Round तो छोड़ो, kills निकले बहुत
Over
crucial
at B
भाई.
lobby, it seems like Gen.G had a perfect read that Governor was going to go for that position.
Exactly. I mean, they had got pinched from it before as well, so it's not exactly a crazy idea. So just good mental memory.
Oh, okay. Well, decent start, but instantly traded back. But now Ban trading up. Will get hit by that Hunter's Fury, but that's the last charge, so no follow-up to be found, no kill to come across. I think they might have a decent idea that he's an exit, but no, it looks like Munchkin actually this time does not have a decent sense of it. It's a falling his Ban. Gets himself a third, Lakia now last man standing. This map is not over yet. Well, Lakia has something to say about it, but 1v4, Spike stranded at the stairs in mid.
I mean, if he can line up his shock darts so they land perfectly at the same time on the two other opponents. Talon one step closer once again towards an OT, and their ults are all online.
भाई यार को ठंडा पानी डाल दो मेरे पे.
But the Gen. Just given the Governor has that operator.
क्या temperature हो रहा है मेरा?
Here for him. It's Ban. I mean, he's just been on one today.
Spike down.
Very clean.
We weren't sure what to expect with him going back over the Killjoy again for now the 6th time in his career. It looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, it looks very calm as well. Very calm. I mean, I think it's, you know, for a lot of these duelists, suddenly recognizing that they don't have to just go create space all the time, right? It really puts a lot of relaxation.
And these guys are just, they're trying to think solo queue effectively. Is Karen going to be dead as he teleports over? Ban, again, finding the kill.
Yeah, and
so
far
you don't
away
have to insta-lock Reyna. You don't have to insta-lock Jet.
मुंबई में ठंडा बड़ा भैंस गुजरात में कहा कि इतनी चीज इतनी क्यों हो रही है फिर?
And you can put up
ऐसा तो
solid
क्या हो
figures.
गया? यहाँ पे 40 डिग्री हो गया.
And still have a lot of value with your utility.
Yeah. Munchkin, is he ready for this?
Oh, nice.
Snapping on that one. Re-swinging Jit Boys and Meteor.
Nice one.
Well, he's able to distract him long enough for Munchkin to collect the second kill. Governor now in a spot. Shot going a little bit wide, but Lenny again just ripping them to pieces. Triple for him, just situated right smack dab in the middle of mid. Drone the chase forward. Let's see if he can spot anything. And Munchkin for now. Nothing else realistically that he's going to be able to do here.
Munchkin, jaldi.
1v3.
Okay.
If he could isolate and pick him off, then that's one thing, but I'm not sure if he's going to have the read with this push coming in from Ban all the way through the attacker spawn.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Of course, Munchkin, for now, just narrowly avoiding Ban. Fortunately, doesn't get the clean kill. Now it's going to be backup.
Yep. Governor hopping in around the corner. Up shot lined up. Taken. Found. Talon now 4 rounds from pushing this into overtime. Still have not had to commit these ults.
Yeah, that's the big thing, right? You didn't have to use it and then wait for a long cycle that may never come as the game ends. You're just holding on to it until you need it. And a big difference is Talon is starting to play with trades, right? They're starting to set up for backup. They've always got someone else covering the next angle, covering the next swing out, things like that. So while Gen.G is ready for a couple of these pushes, they're not ready for 2, 3 people, because before, it was always just 1. So now after a couple of these moments, Gen.G, what's their adjustment? Looks like they want to take a little bit of initiative as it is a half buy. They're prepared for the push out.
Oh, yeah, that they are. Texture reading that one well. Does get the punish. Governor taken down. Is that how this map ends? Same start. Around 18. Governor falling.
Yeah, that's all mid control given over. Again, one of those situations where there's no one there to trade with.
Still have some ults to work with. I mean, all of them.
All the crucial ones, right? That could make a difference and swing it.
They start pushing in the B. Could just see Ban immediately dropping that lockdown to try to dissuade them. Shove them in the opposite direction.
That smoke, it's not going to shake them up too much. Talon was already coming to this A side. It does draw out a lot of utility, so it gives Gen.G the cue to go to B.
Suppress. I know the Odin's going to be on that side. There's the lockdown.
And they get to it and clear it in time.
They have their own, but that's about it. Now the TP across, Jit Boys joining them here on this side of the map. That is going to be the lockdown committed.
30 seconds left.
They are just waiting this out, and they know, okay, well, now you have to try to come towards us. Ban here with the fight, goes into the smoke, still manages to find one. One shot from him. Gives them a hope, gives them a chance. Munchkin off, the shot goes wide. Cannot find Cruz, who now has that null command for the reapproach of the Hunter's Fury. Comes in from Lenny. Munchkin again, looking for the shot. Cannot find it, but Lakia will get one.
Lenny getting the takedown there on a Munchkin. Jit Boys finding Lakia. Bhai, ho jayega, theek hai.
Texture and Meteor. Spike still ticking away. Drone to try to check. They see the turret. They see one. Texture going to be noted there. And back sight. Back over to Meteor tries the challenge for the fight. Now it's Texture on his lonesome to see if he can end this game.
Nice.
End this series right here. Right
Let's go.
The 4K through the box.
GG's.
To close things out. Gen.G pushed, but not pushed over. They managed to get the win 2-0. But it was an incredible
Let's go, bhai. Let's go.
Yes, I mean, really pressing it on both maps, right? 9 rounds on Lotus, eventually 8 on Ascent. And you can't help but wonder, what if those first halves have gone a little differently? Because I think what we saw from Talon was the prep is good, and individually you have some high moments, but you gotta execute perfectly from the get-go if you want to compete with the best of Pacific.
Yeah, I mean...
Ooh, Samsung Z Fold 5, W phone.
Across both of them there, but... You know, Jit Boys not as present on Lotus as we saw from him in their opening series. Governor taking the longest time, unfortunately, to get himself on the board. And in the end, only was able to accrue 5 kills. But Talon, clearly the ideas that they have, you know, the game read, sometimes it is there. They have a decent understanding about how Gen.G wants to approach things. Just haven't been able to capitalize in all of these rounds. Things go a little bit different. The players are a little bit more heated up. This could have been them extending the series all the way to game 3.
Comes with that duo, bhai. Har koi apne duo ke sath aata hai, bhai.
You're just hoping that Gen.G truly is strong enough that every team in your group on Omega struggles against them.
Oh, hi yo.
At least you equalize at the overall.
मैं क्यों इनसे Japanese में बात कर रहा हूँ? मेरे को नहीं पता. मेरे को बोलना भी नहीं चाहिए, भाई. अगली बार से मेरे को content ये नहीं मिलेगा, भाई.
Well, I think for Gen.G, you know, a decent way to ease back into the action here in Pacific. obviously had a long journey over in Madrid, but they come back in, they're able to find their win, rack up another championship point. But we're going to go ahead and pass this over to the analyst desk to break down the action from our opening series of the day.
Thank you, gentlemen. Gen.G continue their unstoppable ascent streak, taking their first series in stage 1 to a 2-0.
Yeah.
But nah. कॉफी खत्म भी होगी वाह मैं बेरंग तू चमक है तू है फर्क है भाई सब गर्म हो रहा है आज यार अगर मुंबई में 32 डिग्री है तो मैं जैकेट पहन सकता हूँ क्या वहाँ पर जैकेट या फिर हुडी ले जाऊंगा एक हुडी ले जाऊंगा यार है ना क्या पता पहनने का मन हो जाए 80-20 ठीक है TLN खेली भी अच्छा या भाई बट ये सॉफ्ट लाइट का काफ़ी अच्छा काम चल हो रहा है भाई लाइक वो जो इतना हार्ड लाइट पड़ रहा था ना वो नहीं हो रहा तो या डूइंग ग्रेट मतलब रिंग लाइट ही है बट मैंने उसको घुमा दिया सो अब जो लाइट है ना बाउंस बैक होके आ रही है ना कि डायरेक्ट तो या अच्छा मैं इसको वाइट करने की सोच रहा हूँ लाइक जो मैं अभी वॉर्म यूज़ करता हूँ ना वो वाइट देखेंगे बट वॉर्म मेरे टाइप के आँख में डायरेक्ट लगती नहीं है तो इसलिए फिर मैं वॉर्म रखता हूँ भाई अब इसी की सर्विस करवानी पड़ेगी भाई अब लग रही है घर में भयंकर लोफी 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 भाई कितना गंदा दिखता है भाई iPhone 15 Okay guys, so yes, I'll end the stream right now. बाकी yes, इस हफ्ते में और एक वीडियो आ रही है जो कि हॉरर गेम ही है सो या बी रेडी नहीं सॉरी इस हफ्ते नहीं संडे को आ रही है संडे को वीडियो आएगी सो या बी रेडी और उसके नेक्स्ट संडे माइनक्राफ्ट की है उसके बाद एक और हॉरर गेम की है सो या काइंडली बी रेडी तगड़ी तगड़ी हॉरर गेम्स आने वाली है और आई गेस ये हॉरर गेम होगी उसके बाद माइनक्राफ्ट और उसके बाद जो हॉरर गेम है वो आई गेस अच्छी खासी स्टोरी मोड गेम है मैंने अभी तक खेली नहीं ना कि उसका ट्रेलर देखा है मैंने बस खरीद ली थी वो वाली तो यार देखते हैं अब कैसा रहता है बाकी मोस्ट प्रोबेबली मैं 19 से 24 तक अवेलेबल नहीं रहूँगा एज आई वुड बी इन मुंबई होप सो कि मैं जा पाऊँ मुंबई व्लॉग आई गेस होगा वो तो फॉर श्योर स्टोरीज डालूंगा क्या पता फ़ोन से मैं लाइव भी आ जाऊंगा अब मेरे पास वो फीचर है कि मैं फ़ोन से लाइव कर सकता हूँ तो क्या पता हर टाइम में बोर हो रहा हूँ तो कर दूँगा हर एक आधी लाइव मेरी भी पहली IRL स्ट्रीम हो जाएगी ठीक सो या यस दैट्स इट थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वॉचिंग अब मिलते हैं कल बाय लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब